Hello and welcome to Exit Stage Left. Because sometimes you get cast in a drama that you didn't audition for, so let's grow together. This is my friend Mollie.
Hello.
She's gonna co-host with me today. So Mollie is my amazing friend. We met because I cast her in a show that I was directing.
And I did exit stage left a couple times.
It was amazing.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yes. Such a good time. And we're also roomies for the next month.
At least a month, maybe longer. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Awesome. How was your week?
My week, well, it's Wednesday, so my week has been good. I drove a lot. I drove 14 and a half hours yesterday from Scottsdale, Arizona to here in, where are we? Oh, Severance. Yep. I know where we live. Fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Fine.
It's fine. Nothing to see here. No, literally drove. Oh, are we? Yep. Clink. Yeah. Drove 14 and a half hours from Arizona to Severance, and it was a long drive, clearly, but it was good. I got through the Arizona, the Raton Pass on the border of Colorado and New Mexico. But once I got through, I had to get to this one, so I made it. It was
We
3 and a
made
half
it.
hours that I made it. Here we are.
That's right. And now I'm like, oh, want to be on my podcast?
So it was like,
Like,
podcast. Gross. Yes.
Yes.
That's all that got me
Let's
through my
do it.
drive. That's all that got me through my drives. I was in.
It has been so busy. I have been just crazy busy because I'm buying a new house.
Crazy.
I know.
I'm so excited for you.
I went under contract this week, and so I'm so excited because ever since my divorce, I've been waiting for this day, and I clawed my way out, and I'm
literally
so happy that I'm finally getting my own place.
It's going to be the best.
It's going to be
It's
awesome.
literally just hers.
Okay, so week date update. So just so you know, Mollie is married.
Yeah. There we go.
So you've been married for how
long? We've been married. It'll be actually on August 5th. It'll be 3 years married.
Okay.
But 5.5 years together. I don't know. Time doesn't matter. But it'll be 3 years on August 5th.
Perfect. So obviously Mollie doesn't have any dating stories from the last 5 years, but she does have some from before 5 years. And I want to hear what this story is.
Do you want to hear about Hot Dog Man or the short guy?
Well, I mean, I think I have to pick Hot Dog Man.
Okay, cool. So I was still living in Illinois, and my friends and I were on like a bar crawl, like as young 20-year-olds do. And we went to this bar, and one of my friends was super drunk, and so she had to go outside because she was gonna. And so we went outside. Wasn't great, but we went outside, and I held her hair, and across the street was a guy with a hot dog cart. And he looked at, mind you, I was also very drunk. He looked super cute. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm in love with this guy. And also, I do love hot dogs. So that's like a little side note. Just a casual side note. I went up to him and I said, I would love a hot dog and also your number, literally. Then, so I got his number. And we proceeded to go on a date a couple days later. He picked me up from my mom's house because I was actually 19 at the time. Ooh, sorry, Mom. He picked me up in his car and had
hot dog car?
No, in his car. So that would have been amazing. It would actually have been amazing. No, he picked me up in a car, like a car that you drive, and he had flowers for me, which was really nice. He was like super sweet the entire time, until like about 3 minutes into the drive, and he goes, well, we can't go too far because I actually am not legally allowed to drive. So we have to just go to this Mexican restaurant that I know the owners of because also I am not allowed to like be anywhere in public other than like selling hot dogs. Like he just like he couldn't sell anything, he couldn't go in anywhere and drink. It was a whole thing. he had a warrant out for his arrest, so that was the thing. So then we're sitting there, and he's like, also, like, can you pay for this? I don't have a wallet. I don't have, and so I called my best friends, Corbin and Maddie, and I called Maddie. I texted Corbin and Maddie group text and was like, hey, so 911 like desperately needs some help here. A bad date, need help. And they were literally around the corner. Maddie called me and she like feigned a whole alien invasion on the phone. She was like, oh man, I need help. Like the aliens are invading. This is a very true story. Maddie will attest to it. I'm on the other line. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, that's so crazy. Like, yeah, we have to go. Like, I have to go right now. Like, okay, I get it. Yeah, of course. And she's like sobbing on the phone. So I was like, I'm so sorry, man. Like, I have to get out of here. Like, my friend's like in a crisis. Like, I gotta go. And yeah, so then I I walked out, and I don't know what happened to that tab, but I sure as shit did pay it. But I
I
left
would
it.
love to hear his side of the story of this
Oh,
date. Like,
fuck that guy. Oh my god, that actually would be so good.
because somebody had an alien.
I mean, I didn't tell him it was an alien invasion.
Okay.
That's just the she just watched Independence Day, and so she was like ripping off that. But that actually would be really, that's such a good way to get off a date. Oh my god,
There's aliens coming. I'm crazy. And then he's like, bye.
yeah, she left me. Okay.
Oh my goodness. That is so funny.
Yeah. So that's the hot dog guy.
You definitely picked a wiener.
I definitely did not.
Winner.
Terrible. Okay.
it.
On that note,
On that note,
I will not cheers. All right, let's go.
let's do it. Okay. So, our relationship advice this week is learning about what the term relational intelligence means.
Mm.
So, relational intelligence is the ability to successfully navigate and manage relationships through self awareness, empathy, and strong interpersonal skills. It goes beyond traditional emotional intelligence by specifically focusing on how people understand, connect, and relate to others in a healthy and meaningful way. So, I know
a lot
that
of
you're
words.
not in the dating game.
Nope.
But there is a big lack of relational intelligence out there in the dating pool right now.
Definitely in the dating pool, but I feel like there's a lack of what is it, relational
Intelligence.
intelligence. I think in couples too.
Oh, sure. This is a tough,
I don't have my hair tie. Cool. Great. Keep talking. Hey, you have there.
oh yeah, you want it?
Yeah, please.
It'll go around your hair
Yeah.
a few times.
Yep. That's the cool thing.
So the key components of relational intelligence is the first one is being self-aware, understanding your own emotional needs, triggers, and your relational patterns, recognizing how your behavior impacts other people. So we live in a really selfish world now where people
Yeah.
do not understand that they are hurting other people by the way that they treat them, by the way that
Honestly, just by like the way that they like wake up and the way that they like say hi to people.
move throughout their day.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't
No,
mention.
no, no, you're good. Empathy is the second one. Being able to genuinely understand and feel what someone else is experiencing. Practicing active listening and emotional attunement. And I realize like that this does not come naturally to everyone. I personally, this comes very easily to me. I think it also comes very easily to you. We have
Yeah.
similar personalities in the fact that we take on a lot of people's energies.
Yeah.
And how
And we also just like kind of take on what the other person is feeling at any point in time, like good, bad, the ugly. Like we just kind of take it on, whether
correct.
they know it or not.
Correct.
We're very empathetic people.
Yes. And so I understand that not everybody has that, but I do want to tell you that if you are someone who lacks empathy or you are not good at it, this is a skill that you can learn.
It is.
So you
It
do
actually
not have to just say empathy.
That's not for me.
It's not for me.
Well,
It is for everyone.
it should be for everyone, for sure.
If you lack it, you should work on that.
Yes.
There's books.
Get on it. Get on it right now.
Emotional regulation is the next one. And this has been something that I have only learned about in probably the last 7 years since my divorce. I've done a lot of work on myself since my divorce, maybe even the last 3, 4 years since my last relationship ended. And emotional regulation is managing your own emotions so that they don't negatively affect interactions with people. Responding instead of reacting in emotionally charged moments. This is being able to keep yourself grounded and not be able to like blow up at something, or
And that takes a lot of self-awareness.
it takes being super aware of what's happening in your body, what's happening with your emotions, and then saying, if I behave in this way,
this might be the reaction that I'm going to get. And do you want that reaction or would you like a different reaction? And so it's based on kind of that.
correct. Yes, and then the next one is effective communication. So expressing your thoughts and feelings clearly and respectfully, and being open to feedback and disagreement without getting defensive. So I've actually been really bad at this.
I'm not great at it at all. That's why I made a face. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
I get defensive immediately. But I actually do have the emotional, I've worked on this and I do have, I think, the emotional intelligence now that I see.
Recognize it.
I can recognize it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So was it emotional recognition?
Sure.
That was a term?
Emotional regulation.
Okay. Right. Well,
Sure.
we're in the same boat. Swim with the same boat alongside it. But I think that I have gotten to a point that I do recognize that this might be not the right time for this response based off of how they are, whoever that may be, like friend, mom, brother, like whoever it may be. Like, I feel like I've gotten to the point that I can recognize how their response is going to be based off of my response and how I need to respond off of that. Does
So
that make sense?
a lot of times, and I think that I've learned this as I've gotten older too. Like when I was younger,
You're
it
like
was a much,
26.
it was, yeah, 720 plus
2 plus 2.
Yes.
28.
So
Okay. Agreed.
I think that when you're younger, it's a lot easier to be like, I'm going to tell this person to fuck off or whatever. As you get older, you're like, okay, that's really not going to get me anywhere here.
This isn't going
This
to
isn't going to help
do
the
anything.
situation at all.
Yeah.
And so you start to learn, like, maybe this is not
There are better ways to go about this situation.
Sure.
I will say though, when it comes to road rage, everyone can fuck right off. When it comes to road rage, they can all fuck off.
Welcome to Denver.
Dude, the worst.
The worst.
Honestly, New Mexico drivers are actually the worst assholes.
Oh,
10 out of 10.
I wouldn't know. Some people do.
Well, come visit.
The next one is boundary setting. So, this is knowing how to protect your emotional energy without withdrawing or controlling someone else. And then this is also respecting other people's limits as well. So, boundaries, this goes both ways. In the boundaries that you set for other people, that you say, that's awesome. I'm not going to let you speak to me that way. And I draw the line here. Or looking at other people and saying, they're asking for a boundary here that they don't want to be crossed, and so I'm going to respect it.
Actually, I don't know how to respond to that because it's a very valid comment. I have some friends, like I personally feel like I already draw pretty good boundaries and I don't know how I don't have a response for that.
Okay.
But I have some friends that I can definitely say they need to draw more boundaries with
Sure.
people, but
It's really easy to recognize in other people that you're like, yo, you need to draw a line in the sand here. Like you're getting taken advantage of, or you're getting, you got to stand up for yourself here, or whatever it is. Like it's easy for us to recognize on the outside. It's not always easy to recognize in yourself.
definitely not. What boundaries would you draw? Like if you could put yourself in that situation, like what would
Sure.
you
It
say?
depends on whatever the situation is. Like
Obviously,
when it
yeah.
comes to work, for example. So I'll tell you an example. I used to work in a bank and I worked with some other younger employees and I worked in particular with this financial advisor that he had a huge ego and he was always just thinking that he's the shit don't stink walking around, blah blah blah.
Like tosses donuts at you.
Yeah. Well, one time he came up to me and he just comes in at like a 10 at me and he's like, "Why did you do this loan this way? And why did you set this up?" And blah, blah, blah. And I just looked at him and I said, "I know you're not talking to me like that at work." And he just looked at me and I said, "Don't you ever talk to me like that again at work." I said, "I am not your friend.
I'm your coworker."
Yeah. I said, "If you would like to have a conversation with me about this particular thing and you would like to calm yourself down and have a respectful adult conversation, then we can do that. But don't you ever talk to me like that again."
I will not be talked to like that.
Yeah. And he was just like,
yeah, deer in headlights.
That is a boundary that I do not allow at work. Like, you do not.
No, as you should.
I am in a management position. I would never speak down to someone in that way.
Never.
Ever. And there's a reason.
For years, there's no way I would ever speak to somebody like that.
And there's a reason why my employees just love working with me. And because I have 100% respect.
And empathy.
Well, that's funny. Also, the very last one.
Let me go.
The very last one here is mutual respect and trust building. Interesting.
Look at that.
This is about cultivating relationships based on honesty, consistency, and integrity.
Integrity is integral.
It is.
Like, it really is like the foundation of what did I say? Integrity? I meant honesty, but also integrity and honesty go hand in hand.
I always say like integrity is like the only thing you take with you when you die. Like it's just like a characteristic about it's just who you are.
Well, and honestly, that's why I married my husband. Like, truthfully, he is 100% the person that I met him on the first day. Like, still to this day, 5.5 years later, he is like to the teeth, sometimes a little too much, and I love it. But he is like very much just himself, and his integrity is very much who he is. He's like he's himself all the time, and his integrity is part of that. And he learned it from his dad, which is like very impressive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the last part of that is just learning how to repair ruptures when trust is broken.
It's hard. That is it's a very hard thing. It's a very hard thing because you have to really look at the relationship, I think, as a whole and see like what the pluses and minuses are for that, right? So like,
if someone continually breaks your trust,
right? If that's like a constant thing,
a mutual respect, right?
Definitely, there's no respect there because they're still breaking that trust. But if it's like a one-time thing and they really continually, I lost an earring. Perfect. We'll just take them both off. Maybe. There we go. But if they like break your trust one time and then really go out of their way to make up for it, and they're genuine about it, and they continually show that they're trying to make it better, and they have that effort there, I feel like there is room for the rebuild.
Sure.
Right? Does that make sense?
But if someone continually breaks their trust and continues to say, "I'm sorry," and then they keep doing it and doing it and doing it, there's not a lot to build on there.
No, definitely not.
This turns out to be that their integrity is just
they didn't have integrity to begin with.
That's who they are.
They didn't have integrity to begin with.
Sorry if that hurts.
Sorry about ya.
So why?
Been there. Yeah, I get it.
Been there. Why it matters is that relational intelligence is essential in romantic relationships, friendships, family dynamics, and workplace teams. High relational intelligence leads to deeper connection and intimacy, more constructive conflict resolution, healthier attachment and trust, and lower likelihood of toxic or codependent patterns.
Yeah, no, I can definitely attest to that, especially like in the workplace dynamic. I mean, I've had I used to manage restaurants. Like I've had a lot of servers come to me and be like, "Hey, I have this table. They're like super crazy, whatever." And then I go, and then the table is like, "The server didn't remember this or this." And I'm like, "Well, how did we go about this to begin with?" And that establishes trust with the server, which then actually like furthers the trust.
We're like building the
Yeah,
relationship
yeah,
back together.
building the relationship going forward. I mean, the customer is not always right. I will say that.
We all know that.
If you don't, you're dumb.
So this is a skill that can be learned and developed, and it plays a big role in your emotional maturity.
Is it tying a cherry stem with your tongue? You said it was a skill.
That's also a skill.
Sorry, continue.
It plays a big role in emotional maturity.
Oh, no.
Overall life satisfaction.
What has to do what I'm sorry. What has to do with life
The
satisfaction?
skill and development plays the big role in your emotional maturity and your overall life satisfaction by
Well-
being able to learn and develop your relational intelligence.
I feel like that was a lot of words into one sentence. Was that ChatGPT? That felt
Yep, yep.
okay.
So
So
you're
put it into dumb words
Okay.
because I literally don't. I'm dumb.
Your
Please.
relational intelligence is a skill that you learn.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
more that you do it and the better that you get at it helps you have overall life satisfaction by being good at all of those things.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yep, yep. So if you're wondering if you have good relational intelligence, I have a quiz for you. So the answer is going to be either always, sometimes, or rarely or never.
I was going to say never. Perfect.
Rarely/never.
Okay.
So the first one is I communicate what I'm looking for early on, even when it might scare someone away.
Always.
You get to pick.
You guys pick.
You
pick.
Whatever.
I'm saying always.
The second one is I pay attention to how I feel around someone, not just how they look or what they say, how you feel inside.
Always. I feel like that's, but yeah, always.
Mm-mm.
I won't comment.
We're going to find out Mollie's answer. If someone pulls away emotionally, I don't chase. Pause and reflect.
Middle? What's the middle one?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I choose sometimes.
We're people please.
Yeah, sometimes I chase. Sometimes I do chase.
I'm able to express my interest and affection without over attaching too quickly.
Repeat that.
I'm able to express my interest and affection without over attaching too quickly.
Sometimes.
Always,
I'm gonna go
sometimes,
sometimes.
rarely.
Sometimes.
The next one is don't ignore red flags just because I like someone or feel chemistry.
Sometimes.
This is a good dating
Okay.
quiz.
And you?
I'm not answering. I stay grounded in my own self-worth, whether things work out or not.
Always. It's a good question, though.
I ask thoughtful questions that go beyond surface level to understand someone's values. So, if you said mostly, you're dating with clarity, self-respect, and emotional maturity and big relational intelligence energy. If you say mostly, you're aware but sometimes fall into old habits or avoid hard truths. Keep checking in with yourself.
That's sometimes.
That's sometimes.
Great. Neat.
Most
Check in with myself, guys.
Sometimes. Hey, we all have growth and learning to do.
That's the whole point, right?
We're not here doing this, walking this perfect. That's why we're here listening and learning. So if you said mostly to him, you might be dating on autopilot in fear or over functioning. Reflect on your patterns, especially around communication, boundaries, and self-worth.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Right?
It's like a zodiac sign.
So, no, it's not like a zodiac sign.
No.
These are actual skills and things you can do. It's not.
No, I meant like the answers. I felt like the answers were like a.
Maybe. If you were born this time, you're a good time. Okay. Look who's here.
I'm serious. Serious now, guys.
Calling it.
Only sometimes.
Okay. So one of the things that's come up in dating questions is the difference between having standards for someone and having characteristics of someone.
It's fine.
So standards are what you require of someone. Okay. So these are
So
non-negotiables for you or your partner in your
so
relationship.
like also expectations.
So they're based on your values, your needs, and your boundaries.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So for example, if you say, I will not date a smoker. Okay. And then you see a super hot guy at the bar, and then you see
Or girl.
them smoking.
Or girl.
Or girl. Yeah, whatever. And then you're like, but they're so good looking. Right? It's probably not really your standard.
It's not
or
a
you're
standard.
breaking your own boundary, right? Because they're good looking or whatever, you're saying, oh, I'm willing to break the rules.
Okay, then what's the other one? Because I have a comment on that.
Okay. So they're based on your values, needs, and boundaries. For example, they respect your boundaries. They want a long-term relationship. These are examples. They're emotionally available, which is like a very hot button term right now.
Crazy fucking thing. Can I comment on that though?
Sure.
Because when my husband and I first met, we met at a bar that was allowed, smoking was allowed in the bar. And I smoked probably 2 packs of cigarettes, and we sat there and talked for 2 hours. But smoking was a non negotiable for him. But he sat there and talked with me. And then we went back to his place and did not sleep together. We just kept talking more. And so it, that standard was a non-negotiable, and it did end up being a non-negotiable once we were in a long-term relationship. So I guess I don't know, where would that lie in, like, you know what I mean? Like, where would that lie? Because that was a big standard for him, and he still holds me to that standard, but it, you know what I mean?
So does he care about your smoking now?
Yeah, he absolutely does.
So
he absolutely
still
does.
has the boundary, right?
Yeah.
But he has been able to say, wait a second, this might be something that is negotiable to me because of all of these other things that are checking the boxes with her, right?
I mean, it wasn't a negotiable, but he dealt with it. So I guess it was negotiable.
I mean, he picked you.
Yeah, he did.
He picked you.
I mean, we picked each other, but yeah.
Sure.
But
No,
yes,
I'm saying
yeah,
like
yeah.
he could have said, oh, no way.
No,
I'm not
hard
doing
pass.
that.
Fuck this bitch, I'm out.
Right. But that's not what he did.
No, he did. He did. He chose me and worked, I guess, worked around his standards, but then worked them back into a healthy relationship. And now
Sure.
I don't smoke.
Right.
Cigarettes.
Yeah. Just crack.
Just crack cocaine. Where's my pipe? Just kidding.
So
characteristics.
We're kidding. She doesn't smoke crack.
Not anymore. Just, I don't fucking care. It's
Whatever.
fine.
So characteristics are what?
Damn it, I'm sorry. You started it. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. That's what she said.
Hey. Characteristics are what someone is. So these are traits or qualities that a person has. So they can be neutral, they can be good or bad, depending on your preferences. So these examples are like they're funny, they're tall, they're introverted or extroverted.
Is tall a preference?
It's just a characteristic of
Okay.
of who someone is, right?
Okay.
It's just like this is just part of
Who they
are, right?
Their existence.
Right. So being a smoker is not who you are,
Truth.
but it
Part of my characteristic is that I'm a psychopath.
you said it.
I mean, I did.
Or they're like creative or ambitious or whatever. So characteristics are not always deal breakers, right? They're just part of someone's personality of who they are. Now, you can make characteristics a deal breaker, which a lot of women are doing now. They're saying, like, if you're not over 6 feet tall, then you're automatically out.
Or if you're like under 200 pounds, you're out.
Correct. So men do the same thing to women, right?
They've been doing it for years.
Sure. So the reason why this matters is that confusing characteristics for standards can lead to settling for someone or missing out on someone. So, for example, you say, he's tall and successful equals characteristics, but do they meet your standard of being emotionally mature, right? Or do you see the hot guy smoking and you're crossing the boundary that you said you wouldn't cross because he has these characteristics that you like. But you know that he has values of things that you don't like, right?
Interesting question.
So knowing the difference just helps you date more intentionally and communicate clearly with yourself and others. So standards are what you need. Characteristics are just who they are. So don't confuse a vibe with a value.
So good. Don't confuse a vibe with a value.
There you go. Take that one to the bank.
Take it to the bank. Cash it in.
Okay, so one of the reasons that I brought Molly on today is because I wanted to chat about something that has been talked about a lot in modern dating, and it is just something that's happening now, which is that women and couples are choosing to be childless by choice.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, thank you. I'm good on that. Yeah. No, I used to always say, like, I've never wanted my own children, to be honest. Like, I've never wanted it since I was very young. You can ask my mom. Cheers. Excuse me. That was rude.
Excuse me.
I've never wanted my own kids. I've always said that if I was going to have kids, it was going to be by adoption because there are so many kids out there that don't have the love, don't have the resources, don't have the ability to be loved and to be well taken care of. And so if I'm going to put my efforts into that, it's going to be towards them. And that was actually one of the first things that my husband and I talked about on our first date. Like that, it was literally one of the first conversations that we had. And
that's a huge value that the two of you shared, that you're like, we don't want kids.
Yeah. Well, but we also expressed the same value, the value in wanting to share,
Put that energy
into people that need it and that, like, because there's so many people out there that need that love and care. And so, yeah, my husband and I are not having kids. We do not plan on it. And fingers fucking crossed it never happens. If it happens, it happens, but it's not on our plan. It's not on our life plan, and we're both very okay with that, and most of our family is okay with that. And it was put to me in a way that it it made sense. When another family member says to you, well, if your son just decides to love another man, amazing, but they're like, oh, well, don't worry, you'll once you find the right woman, it'll be okay. It's very, like, equivalent to the same of, you don't want kids. Well, once you get to the point in your life, you'll want kids. I'm 35. Like, I don't want them. And it's very like, it is equivalent to that. It's like almost disrespectful in the sense of people telling us, like, once you get to the right point in your life, you'll want your kids. Like, you'll love them just as much. I don't want my own. There are so many other people I want to love. I have so many other kids that I can love in my life. I don't need my own.
So I'm going to give you some statistics of some things that I found about this. And um, they are raising at this point. Among all adult non-parents aged 15 to 44, the child-free rate climbed from 13.8% in 2002 to 29.4% in 2022. In Michigan, aggregated data from 2021 to 2022 suggest around 21.4% of adults are child-free. So I want to ask you some questions.
In Michigan, though, like, that's what the statistic we're going with.
I don't know. It's just
Anyway,
that it came up.
continue. I'm sorry.
That's the state that came up.
Okay, continue. Ask me away.
What experiences or values led you to feel confident in your decision not to have children?
Oh, I mean, so many. I've worked in daycares. I was raised in a school. Basically, my mom basically had me in her classroom. My mom was a teacher for like 39, 40 years. So I was raised in the school system, and there are just so many kids, again, like I said, that have no families that actually care about them.
Mhm.
And I want to be that person. So I would say that I've worked in daycares and similar situations. I've babysat for kids who are in terrible situations, and they just need the attention and love that they deserve. And so I guess that's That's my answer.
I will tell you that
Long-winded.
she's the most loving, amazing friend to my kids. And so
I do love them.
she does,
I do love them.
she does love kids. She
I love all of the kids. All of our friends have so many kids. And so that's the other benefit though of not having my own because all of our friends are now having their own kids. I have nieces and nephews of all ages and it's the literal best. I get to spoil all ages and just enjoy every part of the different stages of life without having to have it myself because nothing's coming out of here. So
That's awesome. So I know that this is a question that comes up, and I don't know if anyone's ever asked you this, but I am assuming you've been asked this at some point that, like, how do you define fulfillment or legacy for yourself outside of parenthood?
by being our genuine selves. I think that's how we define our legacy. We define it by being our genuine selves and supporting all of our friends and doing different events and like going to different events and like creating these things that also support people that are past or like need help or need love and we that's how we that is our legacy and also my dog Kuno. That's my legacy, if I'm being honest.
She's a dog mom.
I'm very much a dog mom. He is my child.
He's currently laying on my feet.
Yeah, I would
So
pick him up to show him to the camera, but he's laying on our feet, so we're not gonna move him at this point.
have you felt pressure from family, culture, or society about your choice? And how do you navigate that?
Very carefully. Navigate it very carefully. Yes, I have definitely felt societal pressure and definitely familial pressure um on that on this topic specifically. I don't mean to kick you. My I have family on both sides that just like, oh, once you get old enough, you'll want kids. Like you'll get to a point, like just wait till you hold your own baby in your arms. I've already told you multiple times, I'm not gonna do that. So it gets frustrating, honestly. It gets frustrating. But it's nice to have family and friends that do understand where we're coming from and that do support our decision to not have kids. It's just, it took a while for my mom, I think. Like my mom personally, I think it took a while for her to get around to that. But I mean, I'm a year away from the age that she had me. And so I think there's a small part of her that's like,
Maybe.
but it's not happening.
Right.
She's okay with that. Like she has made her peace with it because I told her she doesn't have a choice.
Right.
But it's definitely tough. Tidally wise, is that a word? I don't think that's a word, but
subtly.
yeah, but you knew what I meant. You knew what I meant. I think there is definitely well, I mean it's everyone's like the clock is ticking. What fucking clock? Like no one's clock is the same. Every woman's uterus is fucking different. I don't know if you guys knew that. Turns out it is. And so like the whole clock is ticking. It's a bunch of bullshit. Like everyone's clock is different. So like you can't sit there and be like, well, you're 31, your clock is ticking. Tick tick. Get the fuck out of here. No one fucking cares. Everyone should be on their own path.
It is.
I
I think
guess.
that this is a good point to remind people that are listening that just because it's your choice, it doesn't mean that it has to be everyone else's choice.
Yeah.
Right. And so if someone decides that they don't want to have kids, we need to respect the fact that they don't want to have kids.
Boundaries.
Boundaries. Right?
Boundaries.
Let's go.
Link to boundaries.
That's awesome. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
So
Well, I'll talk for days about it. I'm not having kids.
I already had them, so I
I do love
I
them.
can't relate to it, but
I do love them. Just beautiful kids.
oh, thank you. So the next topic that we're going to talk about is something that Molly and I unfortunately are in the same club about, and has to do with grief.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So
Here come the tears.
here comes some tears. So, will you share with us a tiny bit about your story? And I haven't shared
Excuse me.
I haven't shared a ton. I'm just laughing.
No, I just burped. Mike would have loved that.
There you go.
Talking about grief, continue.
I haven't shared a ton about my story. Most of my listeners just know that my ex-husband did take his own life. And so that's really all that I've shared about it. So I wanted to dive in a little bit deeper about some things about grief. So if you wanted to share a little bit of your story, we would love to hear about it.
Yeah, of course. So my brother was 39 and he was diagnosed with cancer, esophageal, when he was 37, I think 37, 38, late 30s. Either way, he was diagnosed in April and they told him he had a couple of years and then it progressed extremely quickly and he passed in that same year of July.
3 months.
Yeah, it went from zero to nothing in the wrong way. So it was very quick, and we all of us in the family like were dealing with it in different ways and are still dealing with it in different ways. And it's really hard. It's really hard to deal with. And it's been almost 15 years. Like my niece turned 15 or she was born a month. Oh no, she turned 1 years old a month after he passed. So she has no recollection of him and that really sucks. You know, it's really hard because my nephew was a couple years older and so he has, you know, a few memories of him, but it just you know, it never gets better. It never gets better. It's always hard, but with time it does get a little easier. It gets a little easier to talk about. I mean, hence why I'm able to talk about it with you right now.
Yeah.
It does get a little easier, but um, you know, there's always someone to talk about this stuff with, whether or not you know it. Like, it could be a person just waiting on a train platform. You know, everyone's going through something and everyone has a little bit of grief. And it also kind of connects us with other people.
Of course.
It just kind of makes another characteristic, I guess, that you can like use in yourself to connect with people. And it's hard. It's hard. It's so hard. I miss my brother every day. I miss his hugs. I wish I'd played D&D with him and I never did and I hate myself for it, but I know that he loves he loves everything that's happening in our lives.
That's beautiful. I know that part of grieving too, and like she said, is that you can always like find something to connect with someone. I actually got a phone call this last week from a really close friend of mine.
Goodness. Speak of the devil is my mom.
She felt a change in the force.
Yeah, she knew we were talking about like
that's cute.
She's gonna love that.
I got a phone call from a really good friend this week and she called me and she's divorced and had like a pretty rough relationship with her ex-husband and she has 2 kids that she has with him and she called me and she said, "Jill, I'm calling to tell you that I won't say his name, but so and so he got killed in a plane crash this weekend and my kids lost their dad." And she said, "I don't know who to talk to about this." She's like, "You're literally the only person
Yeah.
I know who's ever dealt with this." And I felt so privileged that she called me and that I could have some words of encouragement for her.
Some knowledge and like
Yes.
insight into how to go about it. I mean, it's not it's not something you can actually navigate, but like
No. And as like obviously I felt
that's
horrible that this happened and I was
yeah,
like,
first.
"Oh, I'm like, this is so bad." I'm like,
But
this is not a club that any of us want to be in.
nobody wants to be in this
No
club. No one likes the grief club, but
No.
everybody is in it. But that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
so
truly amazing.
and it's like sometimes you just are able to connect with people in a way by going through something really terrible that helps you be a bridge for somebody to get through at that time. And so one of the things that we want to think about when we're talking about grieving is, what am I really grieving? Grief isn't always just about death. So it can stem from a loss of your identity. It can be a relationship that you have with someone. It can actually be that you're grieving future dreams that you had with someone. You pictured something to look that way, right? Obviously, like, we all pictured future dads in our situation for their kids, and that gets ripped away from you. And it can even disrupt the stability of your life. For me, it was a huge financial stability disruption. And that wasn't the only thing, but I'm just saying that
there was definitely other disruptions.
there were, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
the
no,
stability, like,
definitely a
I didn't,
huge
I was
thing.
like, how am I going to live?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I'm going to live. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And obviously, over the years, I have been able to find a way, and I was able to do it on my own. But what this does is, like, it really helps you name the true source of your pain. And so sometimes we like to call them, in our house, we call them grief landmines, that you don't know when they're coming, but sometimes they just step on it and you're like, boom.
And it could be the smallest thing. Smallest thing. I found a die. A die, I guess. A die is a singular. But it was the same amount that you would have on a Dungeons and Dragon die. I found it today when I was cleaning
A
about
12-sided die?
yeah, but it's all different food names and like food options that somebody got me and my husband for our wedding. And I found that today when I was cleaning, and it made me think of Mike. And I was like, you would have laughed so fucking hard at me and been like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you need to get a hold of yourself. But he would have laughed his ass off at me, and yeah, it was an emotional landmine.
Yes.
What did you call it?
A grief landmine.
Landmine.
Mhm.
But emotional landmine. I mean, because I also have landmines, though, that make me super happy. And,
Sure.
like, they.
And you just, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I just remembered this time that this
Yeah.
happened, or a memory or something, and it just
Yeah.
reminds you of something
Exactly.
really happy. So yeah, it can for sure bring both.
Oh, you want to I think our dog.
Does my grief need right now? Is another question that you can ask yourself. If you're having a really tough time, you can say, like, do I need to express something? Do I need to be in silence? Do I need support right now? Do I need space from someone? Grief fluctuates. Like, this is not a through line. This is what you do when you have grief. It's this.
No.
It's like this. It's
At
all
all.
over the place.
It goes all over the map. It's like a star map.
Yes.
It's literally everywhere.
And
It'll get you out of nowhere. It's like
sure.
a meteor.
Yep.
Sometimes it just is like pew.
Yep. Sometimes you need to talk about it, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And so tuning into what your grief needs, like moment to moment, can really help you cope and place less judgment on yourself.
Are we circling back to emotional intelligence here?
Well, I mean, for sure. It
I feel like
right?
I feel like I feel like we came full circle.
Hey, we did it.
As emotional intelligence fully like because then you're tuned into yourself and you know how you need to grieve. If you're able to acknowledge that emotional intelligence.
Yes,
Does that make sense?
of course. So, what rituals or actions help me feel connected to what or who I've lost? Do you have any rituals or actions that you've taken over the years?
100%. Tell them what to do. That was my brother's favorite whiskey. And my mom and I always do a shot on like I think it was 4:58 was the time that he was born on April 10th, and we always take a shot then, and then we take a shot on his death anniversary as well on June 9th. And so that's one ritual. There's 1,000 other rituals that are like more body healthy.
Mhm.
But honestly, that's our ritual.
So, on the anniversary of my ex-husband's death, I always make sure that all of my kids are together with me, and we always do something that has to do with reminding the kids about him. So sometimes, like, we go and we have dinner at his favorite place that he wanted to go, or we go karaoke that was at like his favorite bar. Or this last year, what we did was we all got together and I bought this like really, really nice photo album. And I got all the photos of him that I could gather up over the years, and it was a lot. And we put them all in chronological order, and then we just made this like really beautiful photo album so that it's like a physical thing that my kids could have.
That's amazing.
It's
That's
funny
amazing.
because one of my best friends asked me, like, not to be mean, but she was like, "Why do you guys celebrate this day?"
It's a monumental day. Good or bad, it's a monumental day.
And I said,
And you have to.
the answer is not that we're celebrating the day, it's that
Honoring.
we're trying to be together so that nobody's alone today,
Yeah.
and that we are like finding a way to remember him.
You're honoring his presence
Yeah.
in whatever format that may be. And
Mhm.
that's a very beautiful thing.
I mean, my younger two girls were 13 and 15 when he passed, and so I feel like I don't want them to forget who he was. 13 is young, and it's like you think that you're gonna remember, and it's like even though I feel like they did have a really good upbringing with their dad and have great memories of him,
It's not the same.
it's not the same. It's not the same.
I feel so bad for my niece.
Yes.
Grief bomb. Or what is it? Grief landmine.
Yes. I think grief landmine.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for her, and like I feel like my mom, who is my brother's, he was my half brother, but he like helped raise me, and so he was more like a father because we were 17 years apart, and so he was supposed to walk me down the aisle, but he was also supposed to walk Zoe down the aisle. And I just feel like she gets a lot of stories about him, but doesn't have any of her own. And it's sad for me to acknowledge that and like see her going through that with like just not even.
She just doesn't know.
She doesn't know and she doesn't feel that. And that alone makes me really sad because he would have gone to the ends of the earth for her.
Yes. I feel like another really good question to ask yourself when you're grieving is just where in my body do I feel grief and how is it showing up physically? So, grief isn't just emotional, it lives in your body through fatigue, through tension, through restlessness. So, a crazy story that happened after my husband passed away is that I lost the ability to move my left arm after. And I was like, at first, I was like, I think I slept weird. And then I was like, oh. And then it just like kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then I go to the doctor and they're like, do you have any stress in your life? I was like, no,
No, everything's totally fine, normal. Don't look at me. It's okay.
And so I ended up having to go get an MRI, and then they like found this like very rare case of something, right? They're like, the orthopedic surgeon's like, I have never seen this in 25 years. And I was like, of course.
Yeah, no, let's just tack that
Let's
on.
just add this on to what's going on. And
Turns
so,
out I'm insane. It's
right?
It's
And
just
so
called grief.
I thought I was fine, but when I'm looking back at that and I look at like how I was storing that, trying to be strong for my kids and not try to show anything,
it rears its head and
it was just coming out in my body and physically, like it can really be harmful to you.
That's
So,
wild. That's wild.
just use that as some mindfulness and
Yeah,
just
be
know
aware.
and that emotional shutdown and burnout is a real thing, and you can really harm yourself by not dealing with it. And so just know that if that is something that you're going through, it is. We've all been there.
We're all still going through it.
Yes, we're all.
You're gonna always go through it, but there are people and resources to help you go through it. I found one.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can always find somebody who can understand what it's like for you. And it's not easy. It is not easy.
It's not an easy thing to talk about, whatever your grief may be.
Right.
It's not an easy thing to talk about, but there's always someone you can talk to.
And really, the last thing I wanted to talk about this was like, am I letting myself grieve in my own way? Or am I following someone else's timeline or expectation? So sometimes people say, like, it's been 15 years, Mollie. Like, aren't you over this
Why
by
are
now?
you over it yet?
Right?
Everyone grieves in their own way and at their own pace. And you just have to be mindful. Like you said, you just have to be mindful and like socially aware of other people's grief. And this is, I mean, my mom got a tattoo before I did of his initials on her heart, and then it was coupled with my cousin who also passed from cancer, her initials. And then she bought my first tattoo, which was, so he was an archaeologist. So I told the artist that I wanted my arm to be like the earth, and it was like a hole that he excavated. And so that is what started my whole tattoo. And then I did double white petunias for my grandmother. It was her favorite flower. And then forget me nots, my cousin's favorite flower, who also passed from cancer. And I love daisies. But my plan is to do like a whole sleeve of my family members' favorite flowers on my arm. So it's like a botanical garden of my family on my arm.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
that's like, everybody grieves in their own way, and it just takes time, and you have to be patient with people.
It's true. So much of grief gets complicated by guilt or pressure to move on.
So much guilt.
And this really encourages you to have self-compassion with yourself and just resisting comparison, right? Like if you look at other people and you go, oh, well, they're doing so good and I'm such a hot mess. Like what?
They're fine. Like, why am I crying? That's not, they might be fine outside, but they're probably not fine inside.
Correct.
Everyone grieves.
We don't know what that looks like. And I actually ended my 4-year relationship over grief because I had a boyfriend at the time when my ex-husband had passed. And I broke up with him because I couldn't grieve around him because he kept saying like really horrible things to me.
You were already over it.
Well, he just kept saying like, I knew you were still in love with him.
Ugh.
And I was like, what?
The fuck out of here.
Like, no,
That's not how this works.
And so then I found myself like, if I started crying or something, I would go hide.
You have to hide it.
Because I'm like, I can't let him see me
cry. Then you're ashamed.
Yes.
Then you're ashamed of the grief that you're already ashamed of having.
Right.
Because you already were of the relationship. So it's like grief on shame on grief on shame.
And finally I was like, you need to move out of my house. I can't grieve with you here.
And I need to grieve.
I need to grieve.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it was a lot. And it was also the right choice. And I
How do you
feel like it did that. Boundaries, bitches.
Moving on is hard in whatever situation, and grief is hard in every situation. I think just like active mindfulness really does help, and a lot of people don't, especially these days. Nobody knows what active mindfulness really is unless you're practicing it, and it's not an easy thing to do, but
not easy.
You should.
I know that this has not been an easy subject, but it is something that I really feel passionate about. And I really hope that if any of you are struggling in this area, like please reach out to someone or reach out to a friend or family member because somebody that has empathy that's going to be able to understand what you might be going through.
Guarantee you there is someone in your life that is grieving. There's always somebody that's grieving something.
Something, yes. And also feel free, you can DM me, you can comment on any of my videos. I am happy to chat with anyone that's been in this situation or to offer whatever I can to help you at this point. So feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or on TikTok at Exit Stage Left, and I'd be happy here with you.
I guess left is that way? No, it's this way. Yeah.
So
you're wonderful.
Thank you. You are so much for sitting with me.
I'll sit with you for another couple months.
That's right. Here we go.
You're gonna have to deal with me, so
here we are. Well, awesome. We thank you so much, Molly, for sharing your perspective with us today on something that I couldn't speak to, which is, being childless. So really happy to have you here to be the expert on that for us.
Not happening.
And you know what? We
love
you for it. I have enough for everyone. So it's fine. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for listening today. Open up your heart and your mind this week and really try to work on your relational intelligence and trying to help yourself grow and learn. So Thank you so much for listening.
And be situationally aware
Here we go.
across the board.
Thanks. Bye.